What's up everyone, Slasher Movies here, and if you had to ask me what video every year I look forward to making the most, it is this video right here. So ladies and gentlemen, let's count down the top 10 best horror movies of 2016. Now look, 2016 was a stellar year for horror, maybe even the best year ever. Literally, on all platforms, all different departments, they were firing on all cylinders. From foreign films to indie films to even mainstream horror movies, it was a really exciting year to return to the cinemas time after time again to see a new horror movie. And to be honest, making this list was extremely painful to make. So I definitely want to shout out a few honorable mentions, and the fact that these honorable mentions are not on my top 10 list is a testament to how great of a year horror had in 2016. And those honorable mentions are The Shallows, Lights Out, The Autopsy of Jane Doe, Under the Shadows, and Hush. Starting my list off at number 10, I have Train to Busan or Busan. Sorry if I mispronounced that, but this movie has been pitched as zombies on a train, but it's actually so much more. This is a fast, fierce zombie flick that just, the moment it gets going, it does not let you go. It is intense. It has got characters that you actually care for, so when they die, you actually feel the weight of their death, and it makes this whole thing more horrific and terrifying to watch. And I have to say, my emotions, I guess, are not safe anywhere, because by the end of this movie, I had tears in my eyes because I was so invested into the story and in the characters and the turmoil they were going through. Number 9 is The Eyes of My Mother. Now, I saw this film at Fantastic Fest with the director himself, and he really shined a great light on this movie. This is a very unsettling movie that is gorgeously shot. It's shot in black and white, and the movie looks incredible. It's like half Portuguese, half English, and it's just very unsettling. And I mean, there's a sequence in this film with a baby that is one of the most horrific things I saw in 2016. This is a movie that really gets under your skin and just makes you feel very uncomfortable. Coming in at number 8 is Don't Breathe. Woo, baby, was this movie an intense ride for me. It was wild, it was fun, and just there were some great terrifying sequences in this film, but I have to say my personal favorite is The Night Vision, and this movie offers a pretty bonkers twist that definitely got everyone in the crowd going. Number 7 is The Conjuring 2. Now look, James Wan knows horror. We can talk about how much James Wan knows horror for centuries, but he knows horror. And this man just makes great horror movies that are visually beautiful to look at, that offers some great horror set pieces, but it also offers really great character developments and character dynamics that are going on in this movie, and it also adds, a lot of interesting ideas about faith and whether or not things are fraud or real that I found really, fascinating to watch. Coming in at number 6 is The Invitation. This is a dinner party gone wrong, and we all know dinner parties can be a bit awkward, especially if your ex is there, but man oh man was this movie a slow burn thriller. And when I say slow burn, it's definitely a slow burn. It takes its time, it puts its pieces out all on the table really early on, and it just asks you to interpret things for yourself, and it leads to a final 30 minutes that just had me on completely on the edge of my seat. And the final shot to this movie is the best final shot to any movie of 2016. It really lingers with you long after the film. We're halfway there, you guys, and at number 5, I had 10 Cloverfield Lane. This was probably the most entertaining film I saw of 2016, and if you're not a big horror person, but you're watching this video anyway, this is a great movie to start with. This is a thriller that takes predominantly in this bunker, and it's just a claustrophobic, tense ride filled with phenomenal performances, and the story puts all of its, Easter eggs out on you, and you just have to figure it out. And when it gets to the finale was so much fun, especially when I saw this movie on the big IMAX format. Coming in at number 4, I have Green Room. This movie is like constantly being punched in the face repeatedly. This was insane. intense. It was grueling. It felt very real. And it also just offered great performances from everyone in this film, especially Patrick Stewart and the late Anton Yelchin, who just shine in this movie. It's directed with such fierceness, and the coloring in this movie is fantastic, but it's really just the visceral nature of this film that just takes you on a ride like no other. And there's a reason why I've been seeing this movie not only pop up on a lot of top 10 best horror lists, but top 10 best movies in general, because this movie is just an experience, and you just get completely pulverized by it. Coming in at number 3 is The Neon Demon. Now, in my opinion, this is Nicholas Winding Refn's best film. This is a overly stylized and captivating watch of, LA and this sort of darker approach. While yes, we have La La Land that paints, LA in a beautiful picture, this not so much. And the last 10 minutes of this movie are horrific. And it's a movie that when it's over, you're not going to never forget that you watched it, because it's just such a polarizing experience. And it's not going to be for everyone, but boy oh boy, was it certainly for me. Coming in at number 2, I have The Wailing. Now, this is a South Korean, almost nearly 3-hour-long epic. It is very heavy on story and character development, and the arcs that these characters go on is extremely, unheard of for horror, in my opinion. This was a massive film, a massive undertaking, and everything about it just works. And I personally, a sweet spot for me is whenever a horror movie can incorporate religious themes and subtext and messages, and The Wailing hits you like a full force by the ending of this movie, and you realize what this movie really is about, and it just makes you want to go back and rewatch the whole 3 hours again. And ladies and gentlemen, my favorite horror movie of 2016 is The Witch. I knew when I walked out of the theaters in February that I had just seen the best horror movie of 2016, and that no horror movie was going to come close to touching this, and no horror movie did. This was a phenomenal feature debut from Robert Eggers that is just oozing an absolutely terrifying atmosphere. From the lighting to the direction, the cinematography, and the breakout performances from the cast, this movie just really gets under your skin and just gives you an unholy theater experience. I mean, I felt like I was watching something that the devil himself had crafted. But what I love about this movie is the fact that this movie actually has a lot going on underneath. I mean, this movie has a lot to say about faith, organized religion. What does faith look like? What does sin look like? What that does to us, spiritually, really affected me profoundly. And I will fight anyone who tells me that this is not a good movie. And there you have it, you guys. Those were my top 10 best horror movies of 2016. I just can't get over how great of a year this was for horror. And I just can't wait to see what 2017 has to offer. Of course, on the screen you'll see other great videos that you can check out. And until next time, I'm the Slasher Movie, and you guys have just been slashed.